Okay, so let's get straight into it. So I've got my hair up and out of my face because I don't want hair in my makeup. And I'm gonna go straight into priming my face. I've got the Australis primer here. It's the only primer I have at the moment. So I'm just gonna put that on, dot it on the places I want, and then rub it in. Alright, and then I'm going to go in with the Clinique Pore Refining Solution, and I'm just going to put this on my nose where I have some big pores. This is just a good one for filling in fine lines and pores and stuff. So this isn't an unnecessary step if you don't have big pores, but yay. Now that's done, I'm going to go straight on to my foundation. I'm using today the Match Master foundation from MAC. Mine's in the shade 01 or 10. I always do that. So I'm just going to squirt a couple of squirts out of that onto my hand. Take a foundation brush. This is the e.l.f. powder brush. I like it because it's like a flat top. So I just kind of stipple that on my face first to kind of evenly distribute the colour, and then I buff it into the skin after I do that. I find that this method of application gives me the most flawless finish. So of course, if you don't have this brush, if you don't like using this brush, you could also use a beauty blender or a foundation brush like this one, which is a nice foundation brush. So yeah, whatever you prefer to do. You can even use your fingers if you don't have any brushes. But if you do use your fingers, make sure that you wash your hands very thoroughly first. Alright, so that did quite an alright job. But as you can see, I've still got a few pimples there, so I'm going to go in with a concealer next. I'll just do my my pimples. So I just put that on my finger. I'm just going to dab that in the areas that I need it. Oh, there's one up there too. Alright, so I'm just going to let that sit for a while, and I'm going to get started on the eye makeup. So firstly, a primer. My favourite primer of the moment is the Essence I Love Stage eyeshadow base. So I'm just going to put this on. I'm going to spread that all the way up into my inner corner, up to my brow bone, and slightly under my eye. Just be gentle when you're doing this. We don't want to damage the eye. Okay, so onto the eyeshadows I'm going to be using today for this look are going to come from the Too Faced Natural Eye Palette. So this is a very nice palette if you're looking for a neutral palette for everyday kind of wear. So it's got 3 separate looks. I'm not going to be using any of these, but we've got a few nice colours, and so that's what I'm going to be using. If you don't have this exact palette, I'm sure a lot of the colours can also be found in the Naked palette, Naked 1 or Naked 2, just whatever you have. So the first colour I'm going to go in with is going to be this one at the bottom called Honey Pot. Now this is a very shimmery gold colour. So I'm just going to use my finger, and I'm just going to put this on the first half of my lid. The reason I'm using my finger is that I find it very hard to get this colour really concentrated when I'm using a brush, because the bristles take a lot of colour and don't distribute how I like. So it's just easier for me to use my finger for the first half of this tutorial. So also good if you don't have a flat shader brush or anything like that. This is a good technique. Okay, so the next colour I'm going to take is the middle colour in the centre, this one here, called Push Up. So this is a dark golden brown. So I'm just going to use my finger again and put this on the outer half. As you can see, this colour is more of a copper bronzy colour than the bright gold that the first colour was. So this is just going to add a little bit of dimension. Alright, so once we've done that, I'm going to take, this is a pencil brush. It doesn't have a brand name on it, so I'm not sure what it is. And I'm going to take a mixture of the bottom two colours, Cocoa Puff and Erotica. So I'm just going to dip my brush in both of these. Cocoa Puff is like a deep chocolatey brown with gold glitters in it, and Erotica is not as warm. It's a darker greyish brown, which is a nice colour, but I want a little bit of warmth in this tutorial. Alright, so we're just going to pack down those colours. It looks pretty intense now, but we're going to take a blending brush in a second. Oops. And blend it in, so it look alright at the end. Alright, so take a blending brush. This is the e.l.f. blending eye brush. You can see that there. But also a 217 from MAC would be good, or a Sigma brush. Sigma has some good blending brushes. Alright, so this is quite an intense smoky look, I would say. So maybe not everyday wear, good for going out if you want to go clubbing or something. Now, as you can see, there's quite a lot of fallout from this look, which is why I've left the concealer till last. So we'll use the concealer to conceal any fallout or troubles that we have. Alright, so that's quite nice. Alright, a couple of things to do before we finish this. Alright, so we're just going to take the blending brush again, just blend out the edges there a little bit. Alright, and then lastly we're going to take the top cover in this colour. This is Heaven from the same palette. We're going to highlight our brows. And then we're going to go in with the same colour to the inner corner to just brighten it up a little bit. Alright, that's the eyeshadow done. Okay, I'm now going to take an eyeliner brush and a gel eyeliner. Right, so this is the eyeliner brush from Nude by Nature. I'm just a black gel liner. So I'm just going to put this on. Just going to look at my mirror to do this. I don't want to mess it up. So I'm going to do the other eye and I'll be back. Okay, so now that the eyeliner's done, we're going to go on and do a little bit of a mascara. Actually, we might do concealer first. We're going to conceal on our under eyes. So we're just going to get a little bit of concealer. Now, with this concealer, we want to create a nice crisp line from the under eye shadows. So if you got any fallout or made a mistake with some of the eyeshadow, especially on the lower lash line, this concealer is a good way to fix it. So just blend that in. I'm using my finger. You can use a concealer brush if you want, but I often find concealer brushes sometimes, if they're a bit stiff, they can hurt. Alright, so I'm just going to take a pressed powder. This is the Natio pressed powder in light. And I'm just taking that on a kind of fluffy blending brush. And I'm just going to pat that under my eyes to stop them creasing. Concealer. It's nothing worse than finishing a look and then looking in the mirror and there being creases under your eyes. Alright. So now that we've done that, we're going to leave the rest of the powder till last. And we're going to put on some mascara. So I'm using today the 1x1 Volume Express mascara from Maybelline. Now, with this look, depending on where you're wearing it, you can wear false lashes if you like. I would apply them after you've applied the mascara and then put the eyeliner on. Or then go over the eyeliner so that the vein is not seen. So it's going to do a nice thick coat of mascara. Don't forget the bottom lashes. Of course, if you don't like having your bottom lashes with mascara on, you don't need to do this step. Alright, so that's the eyes done. So let's move on to the rest of the face. Alright, so I'm going to take my e.l.f. complexion brush and going to go back in with the Natio pressed powder in light. And I'm just going to coat my brush with that, tap off the excess, and just set the foundation. I'm going to just pat around the area that I put concealer on. Alright, and then I'm going to take, since the eyes are a little bit more intense than an everyday look, I'm just going to have a light blush. So this colour, it's a light baby pink colour with a little bit of shimmer in it, and it's called Bloom, and it's from the Stefan's makeup brand, if you can see that. So I'm just going to dip my brush in again, tap off any excess, smile, and bring the colour back. This is a good way of adding colour and light to your face. Just a light blush with a little bit of shimmer. Then I'm going to take a highlighter. This is the Chi Chi brand Rose Wall of Shimmer, which is very much like the Bobbi Brown Shimmer Bricks, I think they're called. So I'm going to still use the complexion brush, just go up and down on it, get a little bit of colour, tap off any excess and just go on a C shape. Just bring a little bit of light to my face. Alright, and then depending on what you like, I'm going to go in with a bronzer, if I can find one. Alright, so that's just a nice marbled colour. So I'm just going to put a little bit of that on my face and contour on my cheekbones. So, because this is a little bit more intense eye, you don't want the contour to be too deep. I'll just run a little bit of the colour around my nose and under the tip, and on the forehead a little bit to give me a little bit of colour. The last thing I would say with this look, if you want to, would be to fill in your brows. I have here, if I can open it again, a brow powder. So I'm just gonna take a little bit of the light and the dark colour together and just brush that through my brows. I'm just going to create we're doing short strokes with a light hand just to create a little bit more intensity in the brows. Because the brows frame the eyes and the face, and that's really important. The brows are slightly uneven. And last but not least, we're going to do lips. So we've got a little bit more of an intense eye. So we're going to do a little bit of a more less intense lip. So I'm going to take a Revlon lip colour. This is the Revlon lip colour in 631 Luminous Pearl. So it's just so I'm going to put this on. Just a nice pink colour. And then lastly I'm going to put a little bit of gloss on. This is the Essence Marble Mania gloss. It doesn't have a colour written on it. And there's the finished look. I hope you enjoyed. I shall see you for my next video. Bye.